We are back with some more board game news, and again, it's on Star Wars Unlimited.
Yep.
They've announced their second set. This isn't just the other day.
But I was out of town. I've been gone, but I'm back now, and of course, that was something I've been dying to talk about.
Yes.
This is Shadows of the Galaxy. This is a set kind of centered around the Mandalorian TV universe, if you want to call it that.
At least for the starter set, it sounds like it's very Outer Rim focused, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Kind of the underbelly of the Star Wars universe.
I mean, for real, like, let's jump right into it because they're introducing a brand new mechanic with this called bounties. Well, actually, it's two separate mechanics, bounties and capturing.
Yeah.
Some cards are going to allow you to capture your opponent's cards and kind of hold them hostage. That very much feels like Outer Rim already. The idea that you're out hunting down and capturing these bounties, which is another mechanic. If you capture a character with a bounty on it, you also get a little reward. See, it might be a lot. But I'm really excited about building decks around this mechanic, placing bounties on your opponents and then capturing your opponents to get the rewards. And of course, the Mandalorian is kind of built around this ability.
Yeah, for sure. The Mandalorian has some abilities when you're playing. And the Mandalorian, by the way, is one of the starter packs.
There's
two decks. Moff Gideon
Yep.
and the Mandalorian. And the Mandalorian really leans more into the bounty capture thing than Moff Gideon.
Yeah, his deck definitely does. And this is an interesting premise for his deck. It's all about exhausting your opponents, too. So there's a lot. We've seen some cards already. We've seen the Mandalorian's rifle. We've seen Grogu, who's good also at exhausting people. So I think this is going to be a pretty significant control deck for the heroic side. And I'm excited to play a little bit of control. It's nice.
Yeah, it has a little bit of control. Moff Gideon sounds like it. Well, I mean, his ability is an overwhelm ability, and it sounds like he's basically going to be able to give a lot of the other units in your board that same ability. So you're going to be able to attack and have a lot of that overflow damage going over to the base.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because he's designed to kind of focus on units that cost 3 or less, which there are already a ton of units, and he's command, which is green. So there are a ton of unit options available. But this new set, we've seen already the Dark Trooper card, which is a cost 3 or under. So there's already some synergy in Gideon's deck with that Dark Trooper. And that's a pretty cool card as well. Of course, we haven't seen more than 8 cards they've released from over 250 cards.
They're saying over 250 cards in this new set, which to me, as a person who doesn't play a lot of these games, and maybe you can speak to this, that seems like a lot for a new set.
About what the first set
was.
Yeah, it was like 252, I think, the first set.
And every set, basically, you expect that same amount?
Yeah, I would expect probably about 250 cards per set.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, but there's 4 different aspects, so that's about 100 cards per aspect. I mean, there are, and then you have the rebellion or the heroic and the villainous, and then of course some of those cards are leaders, some of those cards are new bases. So it's not as many maybe as it seems, but I think at least maybe 20 or 30 of those cards in the base set were just bases and leaders. So it's really only maybe 200 and something cards.
That's true.
So
that's true. So good news is you'll probably see even more content on Star Wars Unlimited here. More pack openings for sure. We actually, if you didn't check it out, do go look at our live stream from recently where we, at the end, we opened some packs. And not just these 4 cards, but these are 4 of the cards that came out of those packs.
Yeah.
And we're giving one away. So there's very limited time left. If you haven't done so already, check out that live stream and then go to our Discord and just comment in the channel on our Discord where I have these 4 cards pictured.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick one person.
And they're good. They're good cards.
No, 2 of these are legendary cards.
Yeah.
These are not no joke sort of cards.
Yeah.
Ryan, any theories on, because there's supposed to be 3 new mechanics
they've teased.
in Shadows of the Galaxy.
They said 3 new mechanics. We've got
Bounty,
2.
capture, and any concept from all your play where they might go with the game.
I don't know, but I would love to see some kind of smuggling mechanic to go thematically in with outer rim stuff. I don't know
What's that look like?
I have no idea what that would look like, but the ability to maybe play vehicles with other cards under them that you can almost like trap cards. I don't know.
like that idea.
That would be. I'd like to see something like that. I'd also like to see, and this is not necessarily directed towards this set thematically, but locations that you can play either in the space or ground avenues and put a shield wall or something down on your ground units that gives all your ground units almost like enchantments in Magic. I'd love to see something like that as well.
I like
That
your
would be pretty
smuggling
cool.
idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not maybe.
Probably not smuggling, but
Other
that
people,
would be cool.
but can you imagine placing a character,
like
a
an
unit,
upgrade or something,
or a ground unit in a ship?
Yeah.
That then you could basically play
Drop off
at some sort of discount, but the other player can destroy that ship.
Yeah,
and take it out
exactly.
first. That would be very cool.
That would be cool. I would like to see. I mean, I'm all about that theme, so I'd like to see something that's more thematic with this bounty hunter idea. Of course, bounties and captures are definitely more like the Mandalorian side, but of course we still have like Moff Gideon and his troopers, so there could be cloning. Like, there's a whole avenue of new mechanics that they could introduce.
Now, from your experience with games like this, when they introduce new mechanics, obviously those new mechanics usually can't be retroactive to any of the existing cards, can they?
Not usually. I mean, it depends. Like, no, their abilities, like some cards will give abilities to other cards, in which case then.
I see, yeah.
And there have been instances like Magic the Gathering where they might introduce a card that has an ability and then they decide to standardize that ability and give it a keyword, and that keyword apply
on future printings.
Yeah, and the future printings, they would just print it with the keyword. So we might have something like that, but who knows?
And when's this coming? July?
It's coming in July.
July,
just
right,
in time for Gen Con.
Right before Gen Con. So thankfully, it won't be a Gen Con release. It'll be out before Gen Con. So there won't be ridiculous lines, or do you think there still will be?
I think there's still going to be lines. I don't know if
Really?
there'll be like Lorcana 2023 level lines.
I hope
but
not.
there will be lines, I'm sure.
Anyway, that's all the information we have, or at least that we're willing to share with you right now on Shadows of the Galaxy. If you have any questions about it all, please make them in the comments below. Or if you know about some of the mechanics or have heard some things, let us know about that as well. We'd love to speculate with you more. Until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.